Hi, Manuela. So, I don't know if this story is gonna make sense to you, but for me, it helps me to memorize it. Okay, so I'm gonna go and explain my story, which sometimes some things don't make sense, but it helps me a lot to make that picture in my mind. Okay, so I start, and this is the order of blood draw, depending on the color of the tubes. So I'll start with stars because I like stars. They're in space. So my stars are light yellow. And like I said, stars are part of solar systems and they are in space. So the additive has to start with S, space. So that's an abbreviation for space. Now my first tube is gonna have whole blood. Okay, and since it has whole blood, I'm going to use it for blood cultures. And then after the stars, as you come into the earth, the first thing you see is the sky. So my sky is light blue, and blue also reminds me of the ocean. Now, the ocean is very salty. That means it has a lot of sodium. So the additive is sodium citrate. And since the first one we did it with whole blood, now we go to plasma. Now, the sky, when it gets cloudy, it's like forming clots. And clots is form coagulation. So this one is going to be used for coagulation test. And coagulation happens because of prothrombin. So it's also going to be called PT. Under the sky, we have birds, lots of birds. Now we have two types of birds. We have glass birds, which they are really transparent, so they have nothing. And we have plastic birds. And the plastic birds, they have something in it. They have a clot activator. Now we started with whole blood, then plasma. Now we go to serum. Okay. And because this is red, red means blood. Where do you give blood? In a blood bank. Okay. And also, red, it's also the color kind of, for me, of chemistry. And with chemistry goes serology. Okay. Now, we also have in this picture, in the horizon, we can see the bright sun, gold, in gold. My sun is really bright. And sun starts with S, so it's also called SST. Now, my SST is going to have the same activator as before. So it's going to have a clot activator, but it's really, really bright and it looks like gel. And then I remember gel nails that are really shiny, right? So polymer gel to make it shiny. And we're going to still use the same as before, serum and for chemistry test. Then under the sun, you have grass. And the grass is green, green like heparin. Heparin is green, always. And then you have three types. You have sodium, lithium, and ammonium. So if you have these three, that means that you're going to check for ammonium and electrolytes. Now we came back to zero. Now we go up again. Plasma. Okay, you see whole blood, plasma, serum, then zero plasma, and of course the other one would be whole blood. Okay, so on on top of electrolytes, when you see the grass remembers you of forest, of trees, and they give you oxygen. So you need to check for arterial blood gas. Now, if they get greener than that, it means that you need it right away. So it's a stat. And a stat are also called priority test. I don't know if PST stands for that, but I call it that, priority test. So on the grass, we also have flowers. My flowers are prettier than this in my mind, but I don't know how to paint well on the computer. So because they're pretty, they're gonna have a pretty name on the additive. And the prettiest and easiest name of additives is EDTA. Okay? And we're gonna use, since we use serum plasma, now we're gonna use whole blood. Since we're using whole blood, guess what we're gonna do? A complete blood count. Now, complete blood counts also have white blood cells, and white blood cells are part of the immune system. So we're going to do an immunohematology test. And then on top of that, we want to see how these flowers get anchored in the ground. So I want to see the sedimentation rate. And then lastly, we have the road next to the flowers. Now the roads are gray, not a lot of colors, not sweet. So we're going to check if there is something sweet in that road. And to check if there is something sweet, we're going to use anti-glycolytic agents. And these agents are going to be sodium fluoride or ethyl-acetate. So remember, we're looking for something sweet, something that will bring color to the road. So we're looking for glucose. So we're going to do a glucose test. And something else sweet is fasting blood sugar. Okay. And we're also going to look then, since we're looking for fasting blood sugar, we're going to use also a lactic acid. And in case there is somebody drunk in the road, we're going to check for alcohol. Now, I have the order in which they are drawn. I have the colors, the additives, what are they used for, what do you use, whole blood, plasma, or serum. But the last part is how many times you invert the tubes. And for this, is very, very simple. Sorry, I had it before there. So the first one is the most common one, 8 times. Then the coagulation test is very light because it's light blue. So it's going to be only 3 to 4 times. And after 4 comes 5. And we're still in chemistry, so it's going to be 5. And then the rest is going to be 8, 8, and 8. And there you have it. The entire garabatos that I was doing yesterday in my mind on the board. Hope these help you, and let me know if you have any questions. Bye.